Hello, YouTube, YouTubers, YouTube addicts. Hi, my name is Christian, and this video is about Starseeds. And you may wonder, why am I making a Starseed video? Has everything been said about it? Does anybody know really anything about it? Now, what is the Starseed? I'll tell you from my perspective. I know I am one of them. How did I find out about this, or how did I add two and two together and figure it out? Well, to begin with, right, I'm a keen astrologer. I research a lot about that stuff. I'm also a very keen ufologist. Why? Because I'm actually an ET experiencer, and that is where my story begins. Now, I'm from Chile, and from a very, very early age, I had what could be called close encounters of the fourth kind, meaning I literally was in the presence of these what we tend to call aliens. Aliens, right? And how did that happen? Well, this is part of a set of memories which, as a child, I wanted to forget. Why? Because it was very, very scary, because I was a child and it involved a lot of pain. The pain had to do with the touch of these alien creatures. If you have ever heard of the movie Communion, if you are not aware of what that movie is all about, it's about extraterrestrial experiences that basically this gentleman, an author, Whitley Strieber, had when he was in a cabin writing one of his books, and he created the book Communion, which is basically his own personal experience about his extraterrestrial experiences with the beings. Now, the creatures that I first encountered in my room as a 3, 4, 5-year old were little hooded people, little, very small, who can also go through walls as spheres of light. They could be blue, white, that doesn't matter. But they travel in spheres of light which are ejected from their crafts. I actually have photos of cylinder, what people see as cylinder UFOs or UAPs, but they are UFOs, extraterrestrial crafts or interdimensional crafts, or intergalactic crafts, whatever you want to call them, anyways. So I have photos of those ships sending spheres, and these spheres moving from house to house, and you can't see them because they are outside of the human visible spectrum. Now, you can see them using pulses of light. They will reflect back because they are there. That's fact. They are there. Okay. So that was a bit of a tangent, but I'm going to get back to this subject. So the point is this, right? Those experiences were very dramatic for me because I was a child. I had a dog that ran away during the night because he was scared of these beings coming into my room. And they would examine me with their gloved little hands, and they would literally penetrate my stomach as if I was not there or they were not there. So kind of like a out, they were like sort of off face from this reality, if you want to look at it that way. So, anyways, I try to forget those memories as a child, but they came back when I was 7 years old, and I happened to have a near drowning. I did drown because I woke up on the shore of this river after drowning. And during that drowning sequence, I had a what people call a near-death experience, which is I saw my entire short life presented in front of me by by a cloud of white light, a female cloud of white light, a presence, said to me, "Remember." And so I began to see my life in front of me like a screen, and everything was going backwards, but at the same time you could understand it. You could go inside the movie and feel everything. I remember being carried, and I remember learning to walk, my first steps. I also remember again these experiences that I had as a very young child, which as I said, I wanted to forget. Now, push forward into 1997, and I had many astral projections and also spontaneous Kundalini risings. That's a metaphysical term for when your, let's call it etheric energy is activated at the base of your spine, and it shoots up through your this astral channel that's inside of you, and you can project your consciousness using that light. But if you stop it while it's happening, it actually will hurt you. Now, I could make a video about what that is like because I have several. I happen to be, and I'm not blowing my trumpet, but I happen to be a naturally gifted visual artist. I can draw anything, and I'm also a musician. Okay, but this is and it is part of not only the near-death experience, but it's also part of having had, I guess, a realization as a very young child. My abilities, my artistic abilities, are naturally gifted to me because of my karma. We could talk about that later. And so, to tell you about what happened in '97, those astral projections that I had included one where I actually saw my astral body, and my astral body is kind of a bit of a long story, but my astral body looked in a particular way, which I could not forget because it was just so mind blowing. Now, keep that in mind, what I just said. Now, fast forward 2 years after that experience, after that astral projection where I saw what I looked like in the astral. Now, couple of years after, I had what people call an ET experience with tall white doctors, which are another type of gray, not the short one, but the very tall ones, which are in some circles are called the Orion entities. They're very tall, they're very skinny, like ridiculously skinny. We're talking skeletal. They have 6 very long fingers, 6 fingers, very long arms. They hang like that, like very long. They almost look mantis, like a mantis, praymantis, right? Because of doing this, right? They bring, you call back their arms and the fingers, sort of. Anyways, I digress. So the point is this, right? These beings who appeared in my bedroom while I was with my ex-girlfriend were implanting me, and this is more than one night, by the way. They were implanting me with a black cylinder which floated in front of one of the tall grays, and they placed it in my foot, right? And they put me to sleep. The other shorter grays that were around, well, at the foot of the bed, and I was saying to myself, wow, now I can see you. I will not allow you to make me forget. This is, for some reason, it's kind of like something that I had already prepared in my own mind. When I saw them, I could only move my eyes. And I said, I will not allow you to make me forget. And I repeated that as a loop to maintain my awareness, because it was clearly, they were clearly trying to make me fall asleep and forget. But I didn't. Now, because I am a very good uh, drawer, draftsperson, visual artist, I can draw exactly what I saw. So I'm one of the few people that knows what these entities actually look like. And I became an ET UFO researcher for an organization that's quite large in the United States, in the US. But as a rep in Australia, because this is where I live, in Australia. I'm originally from Chile, which incidentally happens to be one of the UFO hotspots in our world. Now, this is the crux of the matter here. These Orion ETs look exactly the same as what I look like in the astral. Saying that I didn't want to accept all of this, by the way. I had to get x-rays of my foot to see if I had the implant, and guess what? The implant is in my foot, at the base of my foot, just under the cuboid bone, which is the central bone of the human foot. And it's attached by a little, looks like a filament or a fragment of some form of, when it's an attachment to the bone. I guess that's how it gets whatever. Anyways, I digress again. This is all very long. But anyways, I'm trying to like concentrate and make this as short as possible, because there's too much information. Again, if you want me to talk about these things later on, let me know, okay? But this is how I know that there is no need for, let's say, aliens to make hybrids. Because me, as an artist, as a visual artist, as a musician, as a writer, I know that I am from another galaxy, or at least from another constellation. You see, I know. The reason why I'm here, it's either to express freedom of expression, creativity, or perhaps I am being restrained or put under a lock and key as within a human body, and made to go on a loop here, which goes on to be compared to the prison planet concept, which is something that's been going around, making this, I guess people are just talking about it. Yeah, but one thing is certain that I actually do believe is that God doesn't make mistakes. Why do I say that? Because there is always a reason for everything that happens. And there is a higher reason why everything happens. So if you want me to talk more about these kinds of things, let me know, and I will try to make short videos on all of these stuff if you want me to. That's if I get some kind of a reply or commentary on it. So thank you so much for listening, and hopefully I see you again on another topic relating to all of this. Thank you. Bye bye.